now I want to introduce you to Mr. Bob Chapman, who's got the truth and has got a lot to say. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chapman.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
You know, I was on before, and you couldn't hear me, so I redialed and came back in again.
Oh, well, I couldn't hear you before because I didn't have a flag to bring you up.
Oh. Well, I'm going to have to let you borrow one of my flags. A very exciting day today.
Why don't you give us your input of what's going on that you saw exciting today?
Well, I see that the people in Congress are struggling to come to some sort of an agreement to have a continuation of the Bush tax cuts and a pile of pork, which will create a stimulus package of close to $900 billion. I haven't seen a final on it being passed yet, and I've been watching the news all day while I've been on programs. This is one of my biggest days. I get 7 programs today. But anyway, the politicians just couldn't help themselves. They had to pile all kinds of garbage into this bill to make it passable, which is an absolute disgrace to the American people. That is going to allow the economy to go sideways for another year. The Federal Reserve will probably contribute about $1.6 trillion to the $900 billion, taking them up to $2.5 trillion, which is what is needed to keep the economy going sideways. GDP growth this coming year will probably be 2%. And that's not very good, because 1% is coming from the $2.5 trillion that's being pumped into the economy to stimulate it. And that's the same amount of money that was used in QE1, and that didn't work. And that got them 3% growth. And so what are they going to do after that? They're going to have QE3. And what's going to happen? We may very well have hyperinflation. Now, you've heard about inflation, and that this coming year will probably go to about 14%. Right now it's 6 to 7%. The government figure is 1.2%, but the government doesn't know how to tell the truth. And they haven't for a long, long time. The inflation and the creation of money and credit is going to cause people not to want to be in U.S. dollar denominated assets. And that's going to create quite a problem. What hyperinflation is when people are not disturbed with their wages or salaries. They're disturbed that the money that they're receiving isn't worth the paper it's written on. And so they get rid of the money as quickly as possible by buying something. Food, clothing, or whatever. And that's where I think there's a good chance that we're headed. And this will probably happen over the next 2 to 3 years, but maybe more quickly. We don't know yet. Trying to predict exact times is very difficult because many things can change things. Like maybe next summer we'll have another war. We don't know. We don't know what the bureaucrats and the people on Wall Street and in banking are planning for us. And so we have to kind of play it by ear, but we know where it's all headed. And that's why I come on the program to tell you people that you got to get your house in order, preferably not have unusual debt. And I know you travel a lot. I've been there and done that. And sometimes you can't do a lot of planning because you may be at one duty station 2 years and then you have to change again. And you don't even know what country you're going to be in. And so you do the best you can. If you got extra money and you've got some dehydrated and freeze-dried foods and you have a way of defending your family, sounds like something you wouldn't have to mention in this program, but there are people who do not have personal weapons. And the extra money, gold and silver coins and bullion and shares. That's what you should be doing. And we've been telling you that for over 5 years in this program, and everybody who's done it has made money. Well, they certainly kept up with inflation and then some. And so, that's the direction we're headed. And it's going to get more difficult as time goes on. Real estate is not going to go up, it's going to go down. They're talking about, and I hate to even tell you this, but this year, well, let's go to last year. Last year, there was about 1 million foreclosures. This year, it's 1.2 million. Next year, they think it's going to be 1.7. They've already got the sellers of homes inventory for sale that would last 3.1 years. Normally, inventory for sale is 4 to 5 months. It's going to be a long, long time before they work off inventory. So that means prices are going lower in real estate, 10 to 20% perhaps, and it also means that real estate will bump along the bottom for a number of years. And we're going to have a lot of cataclysmic things happen in finance and in the economy. It cannot be avoided. And so things are going to be difficult. And so you men and women in the military know nothing comes easy. You've got a very tough job. From time to time you get easy ones, but more often than not you get a tough job. And this is just another job that you're going to have to handle. And it's just as simple as that. And your job is going to end up being protecting the American people, not fighting some foreign war. So keep that in mind. Do we have any questions yet?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, I'd rather have them than listen to myself talk.
Okay. Let's see, where was it at? Okay. Mr. Chapman, I heard that $20 trillion real estate equity dissolved in the last 2 years. Do you have any comment to verify those numbers?
Oh, absolutely. No question. And a lot more is going to. And what's disturbing is that for the average American, most of his wealth was tied up in his home. And when the banking community allowed this bubble to form in real estate and the prices ran up, they put in place the seeds of destruction of real estate from a wealth holding aspect. And as you well know, house prices are down anywhere between 30 and 75%, depending upon where you live or what section of what city. It varies widely, but it certainly is not good. And so all of that equity has been wiped out, and there's going to be more wiped out. The only equity that's going to be left is in retirement plans, which the government wants to steal from you, and in bonds. And the bonds are in a bubble. 3 weeks ago, the bubble broke. Saw the bonds come down in value. The yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury note went up from around 2.40% to around 3.5% in a very short period of time. And that also meant that mortgage rates increased from 4.16, I think it's to 5.11. That's a new, I think that's the bank rate figure that came out today. And the other figure from Freddie Mac was, I think it was 5.84. Well, when you have higher mortgage rates, less people qualify to buy homes. And it's a big difference, that 1 percentage point. It's a difference between a $1,400 a month payment, maybe an $1,800. I don't know, but it's a lot of difference to the average family. And so we may be in a time when finally real interest rates are going to go higher. And I think that maybe the 10-year might back up and fall back to perhaps 3%, but I don't think it's permanent. I think higher rates are here to stay, no matter what the Federal Reserve tries to do. And the main reason is people want a higher yield, and they want to be compensated for the risk of lending in dollars. And incidentally, every time the interest rates go up, the value of the bond goes down. It's something to think about.
Mr. Chairman, I bought AGICO Eagle, AEM, today. Do you think it was a good day to buy, or should I have waited?
No, it surely was a good time. The stock was $88.60 4 days ago, 4 business days. It closed at $75.61. That is your government in action. That is the leading gold silver stock in the world. Best management, best minds, best future. So what the government does is they tell the hedge funds to knock it down by shorting it naked. And they do that. And why would they do that? Because when all that money was being given out secretly by the Fed, about $30 billion was given to hedge funds. No interest rate. Just use it the way we tell you to use it. And so now they go back to them after they return the money and made piles of money with the money, which happened to be your money, incidentally, taxpayers. Now, when they call the hedge funds up, they say, look, we want Agnico Eagle to go down. So they knock it down. I mean, the rest of the leading stocks weren't off that much. Agnico was off 5.92%. And today they announced an increase in yearly dividend from 16 cents to 64 cents. That's pretty good. And it still went down. So it was down 5.92%. Goldcorp was down 1.92%. Mindfinders was down 1.02%. And Silver Standard was down 0.71%. So as you can see, they were picking on it, and you took advantage of it.
Outstanding. Where's it at? Mr. Chapman, Mr. Chapman, is it true that once the euro crashes, we in this part of the world have 2 or 3 weeks before it hits us, or vice versa?